Friends, it's Nancy, and now we're ready for the first project. We're going to be using page 74, and a couple other things to drag over is ink, a little bit of fabric or lace or ribbon or fibers to do a top of a tag. So I've just got this is a white on white fabric that I tea dyed. I have purple ink all over me, don't ask. That just had shoved in my drawer here, so I'm going to use that for the top of my tag. And paper reinforcements and a little bit of either tea dyed copy paper or tracing paper or onion skin paper. I have this is onion skin that I tea dyed. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut. First thing I'm going to do is unplug this so it doesn't shake. Okay. So I want to cut this off and go over just as far as I can. It's going to take the top of this little stem off, but that's okay. It's okay. Then I'll turn it over and even this side up. So this is about 2 3/4 inches, give or take. Okay. And I'm going to trim 1 inch off the top. Now, to make this a tag shape, I've got my handy dandy template here that I use, but it is it's, you know, whatever you want to do. And I'll grab a corner rounder. I almost cut that one. And I'm just going to round the bottom corners so that they don't get chewed up when the tag's being pulled in and out of pockets. Okay. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to do is I want to put some paper on the back that I can write on. So I'm going to use this tea dyed onion skin, but again, you use what you have. So I've got my tear ruler, my homemade tear ruler. You could use lined paper for that matter. Come on, hands. Okay. Now, we'll glue this down. Once upon a time, I would use purple glue, But my new favorite thing is aerosol glue. And I'll just show you what it looks like. So this is Elmer's spray adhesive. I think I got this at Michael's. So it says it's great for photos, fabric, paper, foil, cork, leather, wood, film, felt, foam, canvas, glass, cardboard, plastic, rubber, and metal. It says paper, so I'm going to use it. And it can get all over the place. So what I've done is, actually I made Catherine from Sunnyside Journals give me a tutorial. So what I've got is a box with high sides, a cardboard box, and I've just crumpled up paper in the bottom so that the thing that I'm spraying isn't actually solidly on anything flat. That way I can quickly lift it up. And so I've got it right at my feet here, so I can just bend over, give it a quick spray, and there you have it. Easy peasy. So the next thing I would do is stitch this. I'm not going to make you watch me stitch it, so I've got one right here. I have stitched around. I'm going to do some inking, but first I want to tie off these threads. So our region, I think I mentioned this in an earlier video, is now in stage 2 of pandemic recovery, which means we can create a social bubble. So a social bubble is 10 people. You're limited to 10 people that you can now come in contact with. So you have to be very careful about who you choose to be in your social bubble, and a person can only be in one social bubble. Sounds all confusing. I don't know. I think I have trust issues. So I'm just going to leave my social bubble alone. Alrighty, let's do some ink. Looking good. And long-term care homes are going to be soon allowing visits under very strict terms. So if you want to visit, I talked about this with Catherine last night because her mom's in a long-term care facility and my grandmother's in a long-term care facility. So yeah, I'm not sure that I'm going to jump too quickly to do any visiting. So you have to visit, you have to have tested negative within the last 2 weeks, last 14 days. You have to wear a mask. You have to be outside and 2 meters apart. So very strict conditions. Okay, so while I've got my ink going on here, I'm just going to color these paper reinforcements. I use these all the time, so I might as well do them all, right? That one wants to flip up on me. We'll skip you. You're a pain. Yeah, I'll have these done and then I can just stick them in my drawer here to keep handy. Okay. Should have mentioned hole punch as a tool that you might need. So what did I say this was? 2 3/4 or something? This one is actually 2 7/8. So that's going to be the center point. Alrighty. Hey, I'm going to pause for just a second. Okay, sorry about that brief pause. My husband was singing again. Are you doing a video, he says? I said, yes. Well, how would I know that? I'm talking to myself. Okay. So, next up is some fussy cutting. So, keep all these words. We're going to use those. So all 4 pieces are going to be fussy cut. I'm not going to make you watch me fussy cut, but I will do one as a demonstration just to show you it's not that big deal. So I like to leave like a little white edge around each piece. And you turn the paper, not your scissors. Just sitting here thinking, do I edit out his singing or do I leave it in? It won't embarrass him because he'll never watch the video. Okay, so that's how that goes. I do like to cut the inner bits out. So to cut out the inner bits, I just take a piece of glass that came from a frame, a picture frame, my X-Acto knife, whoops, if you use the rubber cutting mats, the X-Acto blade tends to get caught, not caught so much, but it's not as versatile. It doesn't bend the way I want it to bend. I won't use a blade to do all of the cutting. That would just take way too long. But if you you want to do that, go at it. These two parts, and I'll do this part up here. That's all I'll do with the X-Acto blade. Okay. And the rest will be done by scissors. It's Saturday morning, and once upon a time, I would be out the door at the crack of dawn to go out yard sailing. I miss my yard sales. Okay. So I'm just going to put these aside for now. And I want to label all of the little bits. So I'm going to save the words. I'm not going to save the Latin. I'm just going to save the English. If these were further apart, I would tear them. With this, clean as you cook, they say, so let's tidy as we craft. All right, so I already have everything cut out, of course, but I didn't ink it because I'm mean. I want a different brush. The first piece I'm going to put down is this yellow one with the butterfly, and the name of this yellow plant is, and you're gonna have to forgive me for this because I'm not sure, tormentil. There, I've put the emphasis on every syllable. I don't know, it's not a plant that we have here in North America, so I'm not familiar with that at all. So ink. Okay. So for this, I'm going to glue it right over top of that pink flower. So all three of these flowers are milkwort, whether it's pink, whether it's pinky, purpley, or purple. All three of them are milkwort, so I'm not concerned that I'm covering that. And the reason I did the stitching first is so that the butterfly and this little yellow flower can kind of overhang a bit. So it looks layered. And I'll use my, I said I was going to use this, but you know what? I'm going to try this spray adhesive. That might save me some time. Yep. Okay, let's get these other guys inked up. I lost my ink. My neighbor's dog is barking. He's a good dog. This time I'm going to use the art glitter glue. And this is the one that has his little feet out. So I know exactly where I'm going to put him. I'm going to put his little feet on this blossom and his 4 feet, his hind feet on the little blossom, his 4 feet on the top blossom. The one that was Heath Bedstraw, I've just cut off where it said smooth Heath Bedstraw. I think Heath Bedstraw is probably good enough. I looked it up on Google and on Google Image to see what it looked like, and that's what they were calling it, so I took the smooth off. Now you don't have to label everything. If you want to leave it off, leave it off. If you just want to do the flowers, just do the flowers. If you just want to do the butterflies, whatever floats your boat. Okay. So this is the, let's try to put these in place first. So that one can kind of go up there. This one, I guess with this, I have to make sure I've pushed down the edges. Okay. This guy, I think to balance it out, I have to put him over here. Okay. So the Heath bed straw is this, this long one here. The milkwort is these purple ones. The meadow brown butterfly is this guy down here. The small heath butterfly is not him. It's him, I think. No, it's this guy. Maybe I'll cut that in half. And the, whatever this is, Tormentil. We'll shove that there. Small heath butterfly, we'll cut him down a bit. So where possible, I want to overlap the stitches. Okay. Heath. Bed straw. Wish I had my tweezers up here. Make this easier. This one is milkwort. And this might be just too busy for you. So, you know, if you want to leave off a butterfly, if you want to leave off the words, do what you need to do to make you happy, okay? Got to make sure I get glue on these antennae. Look at that. Got over the sewing and the reinforcement. And this one. Maybe I'll put it down here. Okay. I'm going to put these in a little box so I don't lose them. All right. Now for some fabric to do my tie top. I don't know. This is probably less than, right around 1/2 inch. I'll use a piece about 7 inches long. And I hold it on my scissors like that so it's really frayed on the end instead of a straight cut. Alright, fold it in half. Now the way I like it is to put the fold from front to back. You can do it however you like. You can tie a bow. And again, use whatever you like, whatever your preference is for doing these little ties in your tag. All right. So that is our first project in the Edith Holden Country Diary for summer. Thanks so much for watching. Come back again soon so we can work on the next page, which will be, I forget. Let me look at my notes. Page 76. Okay, take care. Have fun.